So, we've just seen some videos on the Lindisfarne Gospels, and we're looking here at one of the more famous paintings, or pages. And what I've been emphasizing to the students here before I remembered that I didn't have the video on, was how precious this book is. It took ridiculous amounts of man hours. If you see the videos that I set up at home, you'll see the intricacy of the art. But it's a lot like a modern comic book. A modern comic book doesn't just come out of nowhere. It requires a comic artist, it requires a penciler, it requires an inker, it requires a colorist, it requires a letterer. And that's just for the design of the pages. Then you need a cover, you need a publisher, you need equipment that can translate all of that work into a printed page that you can give the customer. This is all done by hand. It's all done on vellum, sheepskin. Every book is the product of ridiculous amounts of labor. I'm trying to think, is there anything in our society that would be like one of these books? And all I can think of is an automobile. In terms of the value, in terms of all the effort that goes into design. It's a hard comparison to make because it probably undervalues this. These are unique. So during the Dark Ages, monasteries keep knowledge alive in seed form by making copies. But it's not just copying, it's also illuminating. The illuminations are the drawings and the color and the designs. All of the things designed to make this even better to look at, to read, to handle. Had they not done this, had the monks not kept knowledge alive in seed form, had they not copied these books scrupulously, meticulously, and even improved on them in terms of the graphic design of them, had this not been done in several places, the knowledge that we in our own Western civilization had about our past, about our ancestors in Greece and Rome and the Christian church, that would have been wiped out. The wear and tear on everything in Dark Age life is so hard. About the only place that something this delicate and this involved could exist is behind the walls of a monastery. Because as Europe Christianizes, more and more the churches and the monasteries are left out of whatever wars are sweeping through the region. More and more, both sides will avoid doing damage to these places. And they'll also avoid using these places, because if you use these places, it will require the enemy to come in and destroy them. These are treasures for humanity. They're treasures of civilization. They preserve the ancient knowledge in seed form, but they build on it with something uniquely Celtic, something uniquely Anglo-Saxon, something uniquely Christian. They keep the knowledge alive in seed form, so that that one little apple seed can grow into a great apple tree, given the right time and conditions, that will produce countless apples, that will produce countless other seeds, that will feed how many people over the years of that tree's life. Deer. My wife's family used to own a farm in Searsport, Maine. They had an apple orchard, and deer would come, and they would eat the apples. When the dogs went out, they'd eat the apples, and they'd come in, and, oh, God, they smelled! Dogs shouldn't eat apples for the most part. Oh, God! It was worse than just the way a dog's waste normally smells. Awful. One seed produces all that good. It's nothing in the present, practically non-existent. It's all potential. Any questions, comments, or thoughts? I see none. What we're going to do next time, lights please, is we're going to go into and once again review the Islamic faith. which is the third great light of civilization. And after that, we're going to go into some of the more detailed narrative of the history of the Dark Ages. Do you have an assignment due next week? Would you please look at the syllabus behind you? And it's the week after April 12th. What's the week after April 12th? I think it would be the 17th or the 18th. Maybe. Okay. Well, that gives you, I think, 2 weeks, does it not?
Yes.
So good for you. Looks like you don't have work due this coming Monday. But check your syllabus just to make sure.